Long ago, in the land of Ugie, Olomo was a very wealthy man. He would lend money to very poor people because he knows they cannot pay back. On due dates of payment, he would take away their sons and daughters for slavery since they are unable to pay. This was how Use, a young man, Idu, a beautiful maiden, Ojo and others were taken away from their parents. Use was always helping Idu with her portion of work. So they became very close friends to the extent that they fell in love and wanted to marry. One day, while Idu and other slaves were working at Olomo's farm, Olomo found Idu attractive. So he called Idu. He promised her wealth and freedom if she agrees to be his ninth wife. Idu refused because of her love for Use. Olomo was so angry. "You, a common slave, you dare to reject me," he said. Because of this, Olomo starved all the slaves and beat them up. Some of the parents were able to raise money to pay their kids. Others who could not complained and begged the king for mercy. He begged the king and told him Olomo practiced slavery under his nose. The king could no longer bear the complaint, so he ordered Olomo to set all the slaves free. Olomo tried to bribe the king with gifts, but the king rejected them. All slaves were set free, but when Idu got home, she found that her family died from hunger. Idu ran to the palace and begged the king for help. And the king helped by hiring all the slaves he set free. Olomo was so angry and wanted revenge one way or the other. The king took Idu as his own daughter because Idu's parents died after they took her for slavery. He was very friendly to Idu and made sure Idu was okay. But the queen was so jealous and wanted Idu out of the palace. One day, Idu found out she was pregnant for Use. But everyone thought she was pregnant for the king. Meanwhile, they had nothing together. They were just like father and daughter. Idu's pregnancy was almost 9 months, and Use was very happy. But the queen, who suspected the king was the owner of the pregnancy, was visited by Olomo. And he told the queen how to get rid of Idu. Olomo brought a lot of gifts for the queen in return for her to get rid of Idu. But all the plans failed and Idu cried, not knowing the worst will happen. The village festival was fast approaching, and the queen and Olomo made a dangerous plan to get rid of Idu. On the day of the festival, the queen ordered Idu, who was heavily pregnant, to serve food to the king and elders of the village, and she did as she was instructed. The queen stopped the king and elders from eating their food and accused Idu of poisoning the food. Idu could not deny because she was in labor due to shock, and she was sentenced to death immediately by the elders. Use and the king could not stop the killing since it was the judgment of the people, the queen and the elders. Despite Idu's begging and innocence, She was killed and dumped in the river, but the king was able to send someone secretly to save her baby. When Use heard about the death of his fiancée, not knowing his newborn baby is alive, he committed suicide by drowning himself. Idu's spirit could not rest. She haunted the queen and Olomo in their dreams. She added by haunting the villagers in their farm, in the river, and many other places. She would yell and say, "I am innocent. I am innocent. Until justice is served, I will never rest." People became very scared to leave their home. Native doctors were consulted. Sacrifices were made, but yet nothing changed. People began to starve due to the fear of leaving their home for daily bread. Olomo's farmers and wives ran away because Olomo's property were being haunted. Olomo could no longer sleep because his dreams were haunted. He fell sick and no one was present to take care of him. Then he died, and nobody came for him. He died a lonely death. The queen also fell sick due to lack of sleep. She ran mad and confessed, but that was not enough for Idu. She haunted her till she committed suicide. Idu was still not satisfied and started haunting the villagers and elders. The villagers and elders were all starving and scared, but the king, who was unhappy about this whole situation, had to beg Idu to please forgive the villagers. He further explained to her that the elders and the villagers were not aware, that they never knew she was innocent. Furthermore, he added that the child she left behind is going to be the next ruler. If you were to make decisions on her behalf, would you forgive the villagers? Please write in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.